Thank you for listening today on Revealing Wholeness, sponsored by Infinity Whole Health. Check out our website at infinityWholeHealth.com, where we are revealing the eternal in each individual, the infinite in the individual. The creativity is made manifest. Limitation is let go. Now, here's your host, Dr. Troy Munson.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson. This is the month of August, and because most anniversaries are in August, I believe. My anniversary is in August. It's a wonderful time to be married. Anyways, if that's you, then we're going to talk about relationships all this month. So please catch that. If you've got friends that have people that are going to get married, I'm going to be doing a prepare message for those thinking about getting married and things to consider. So we're going to kind of cover some bases this month, but this one is one of the most important things that I think anybody could do or use within their own marriage. I don't like to say anything more like contract, but your own marriage, the whole relationship, the whole kit and caboodle of what embodies your relationship with your spouse. And so for most of you out there, if you're listening to this and caught onto this, you're probably in this idea of, if you're wanting to listen to this because you want a gem for your marriage, then the likelihood that you love your spouse and probably love yourself too is high, or at least maybe you're really upset at your spouse right now and you're wondering, how can I do this better? I want it to be better. Then that means that you're the embodiment of a good-willed human. So let me say that again. You are a good-willed person. That means that you want the best for pretty much everybody. There might be some people that you don't like or thinking bad things, and you don't really wish them goodwill. But at the end of the day, I did not just watch in 2020 and 2021 a bunch of strangers restrict their own airway by putting on a mask to protect people they don't know, to not know that most people are good-willed people. The vast majority of us love each other deep down. And so with that in mind, as we look at our spouses, because there's such familiarity, there can be animosity there quite effortlessly. Because we'll get real with our spouse, they tend to see the dark side of us. But know at the heart of each person, they're a good-willed person. And I remember when I went through Love and Respect by Emerson, I want to say it's Egerton or something. It's kind of a weird last name. But when he wrote Love and Respect, and I love the man. Emerson, I could listen to him all day long. And if I'm pronouncing his first name wrong too, I apologize. But I could listen to him. He's such a great deliverer of information. It's astounding. And so the one thing that he told, and he might agree that this is one of the most important things that it comes to when it comes to helping see each other in a better light, is knowing that my spouse does not have it out for me. They're just not thinking like I think. And so when I look at my spouse and I think, you know what? She is a good-willed woman. And sometimes I have to remind her that I am a good-willed man. I know that you think that I'm doing these things on purpose to make you irate or irritated, but I'm not. I'm a good-willed man. I'm just being me, and you're just being you. And though you might hear, as Emerson talked about, you might hear through a pink megaphone and speak through a pink microphone, and I might hear through, I think that's what those things that people would hold to their ears, like the big magnifier, the big thing so you could hear somebody, that I listen through blue, and my glasses are blue and your glasses are pink. That's what he calls these, is, we just see things a little differently. It doesn't mean that we hate each other, that we have it out for each other. We just see things differently. And it doesn't mean that we can't communicate and come to a common ground. But I think the first realization is that you are a good-willed person at heart. You really want the best for you. If you have the best for you, you naturally want the best for others. At least most of us do. And so that one key concept can end a lot of strife within my own mind when I started that process. When my spouse would leave a little bag clip that you get from the grocery store that ties the bag and keeps it together that you like to break in half and stick on a finger and flick across the room. But that little bag clip gets left on the counter and the garbage can is 2 feet away. And you think, you know what? She did not do this because she wants to upset me. She is a good-willed woman. And as I began to see everything in its correct light, I started seeing her in a correct light instead of condemning in my own mind every action she created. And then I started realizing that what was going on in my own mind was probably going on in everybody else's. And this is how you talk yourself out of a relationship and put all the blame on another person because you're just nitpicking in your own mind and criticizing in your own mind this other person that has no idea how disgruntledly unhappy you are at life in general, and not to recognize that you're doing all of it. You're the one that is moving away from the other person. They're not moving away from you. And that's where you get these couples that all of a sudden they get presented with divorce papers and it's like totally out of left field for this individual. Like, what are you talking about? A divorce? When was there a problem? And they're totally in the dark because you have been listening to your own mind's deception the entire time and have talked yourself out of a relationship in such a way that you've made the other person such an enemy that you didn't even know you did it all. And so I'm here to try to save a marriage today, if this is you, and to begin to recognize that you are a good-willed person. You might be listening to the wrong voice inside your head, but you are a good-willed person, and your spouse is too. And to begin to acknowledge that, and to get over these little nitpicky things that begin to drive a massive wedge in a relationship. And you begin the process of healing. And you begin the process of stop nitpicking yourself too, because that's also where it began. You just transferred it on to somebody else. So if that's you, let's get you some help. If you don't know how to do any of that, please contact me. Let's start the process of getting you out of your head and start fostering a real sense of love, perfect love within you, and perfect peace and perfect joy that then begins to move outward, and you see everybody in that perfect peace and perfect love and perfect joy. And some of you out there are like, fat chance, my spouse is a danger to me. They are abusive. They are that. Then we do want you to take measures to move away from that person. But recognize that they were created with love first, and people abuse them too. And that's why they feel like that's all they know how to do. So distancing yourself is a wise move, but we still need to help this individual that is a terror, so to speak. But we need to fix you too. So I hope that is helpful. It was kind of glossed over there at the end. If it was really, some rough things you're going through, this is not the place to discuss and pull apart all that stuff, though I have in other podcasts pulled it apart. But if you're in that really bad situation, you need to get some people around you right away and right now. And please do that. If you need to talk to me, I will be more than glad to come alongside you and help. Until next time, I hope this was incredibly helpful to you. And if you have an amazing story because you've done this, I want to hear it. Until next time, I'm Dr. Troy Munson.
Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach Dr. Munson at 360-893-8586 or email him at chiroman@dr.com. That's chiroman@dr.com. Check out our current workshop schedule on Facebook at Infinity Whole Health.